about how the Negroes are wrong.
In Chicago, 116 officers has cost Chicago approximately
Here we go.
$100 million
Here we go.
over 3 years.
Don't talk about Keisha and her bad behavior.
Question, sir.
It's not because of the police officers.
How much has all the derelict niggas and the single moms who let the niggas destroy Chicago's what do they call it?
The flash mobs, all that shit.
How much has that cost Chicago?
You know what, man? As a Chicago representative, and Chicago always been in the mouth. For every Laquan McDaniel that get paid out in Chicago, and that was unfortunate. You have 15 girls working on police cars while the police are driving. So
Thank you.
I don't necessarily take that as a Geiger in the city of 2.5 million. That 118.
All right, boys and girls.
Got deleted.
This is a black panel on the subject I just went live about. If I would have known it was here, I wouldn't have ended the stream, man.
1996,
because we had two people jump in.
Gang sweeps. In 2022, when this chick had a police officer, I've been in that situation before with Keisha, ironically enough, where I'm trying to drive away and she's knocking on my car window, calling me all type of SOBs. That's what he was doing. She was driving across the.
This is fascinating.
So while the police was walking on the side of the car, telling her to get out the car, that's how it escalated. We see a small clip with the gun out, and she taking off and he shoot, but he had been chasing her around on a slow walk, 3 mile per hour chase, all the way up until that point. Like, you try to take all autonomy away from a toddler, which you should, by the way. All women shouldn't be able to go outside without adult supervision. But you're acting like she's an adult, so let's play that game. And you're taking all autonomy away from her of the decisions that she could have made. And you're saying, yo, but the police didn't stand on the right side of the street. Come on, man, quit playing, bro. Just say she's a goofy chick. Her family,
that shit wild, bro.
Her family will get paid. She was more dead than alive, like a lot of people.
That's all I'm saying. I'm not debating whether she acted in the best interest. I just thought that I thought that somebody wanted to know, like, what are the legal ramifications and if payouts, firings, or anything happen like that.
No, I accept
you know
that.
what would ultimately stop the payouts? Niggers not being niggers.
Right. You see, this is why I accepted your argument about the payout and all that. But for me, that's just a commentary, again, on how far the system is willing to go to help niggas do nigga shit. And niggas be acting like the system hates you. The system don't hate you. The system encouraging you.
Right. They're incentivizing
way to accommodate you.
This is fascinating.
Yeah, they're incentivizing bad behavior by allowing these civil payouts. I don't think any criminal charges are going to be brought upon this officer because
I hope not.
He was doing his job.
I hope not. They're saying I hope there are no charges brought on this guy.
It's a possibility, but I don't think so. And it was a justified shooting in my opinion because
oh my
she
God,
puts that vehicle in drive.
This is fascinating.
That vehicle becomes a weapon.
Like, where's the anger? Where's the anger at a black culture that facilitates parents not raising their children? Like I said, she lived with her grandmother.
They're on the other side, and I'm thinking the guy was that their policies are fucked up, and the guys never should have stopped in front of the car.
He's talking about the culture. He's talking about the culture itself. Like what? No. He's talking about what created the environment for her to thrive.
Woman that does this,
and it was the same thing.
The culture of her parents not raising her grandmother raising her. The culture that facilitates her having 3 kids almost by the time of 21 by different fathers. The culture that facilitates groups of black people, in this case, black women, going into retailers and stealing. Why don't you talk about that?
Wow.
That will stop all of this stuff. Instead of talking,
she wouldn't have wound up dead if she wouldn't have shoplifted. It's basically like they're saying that it's her problem.
Why don't you fulfill the problem at its root? Why don't you do that?
Hey, one thing that we need to think about too is like, yo, you were speaking matter of fact, right? When like in the criminal system, not the civil system or whatever, like
because we're listening, there's no white people on this panel.
And there have been cases where police officers have like been using their computer and ran over people, like innocent people actually, as a matter of fact, because they were distracted. But they were not deemed criminally liable, but they were civilly liable and sued for wrongful death. That's like 2 different things.
Yes.
I doubt that this cop will face any infractions, and you would really have to make a case for on the civil side for wrongful death, especially if they make the point to, hey, even if he's violating policy, if she taps on the gas, that is a deadly weapon, straight up.
Yep.
No. Civil side is easy. It's clear as day. That's definitely there.
It's not clear as day because they have to go to court.
Because
and guess what? And you know what? There's a practice. There's a legal practice.
Now this is fascinating.
The criminal side is going to be the tougher one, or up in
the criminal side is supposed to be the tougher side. The civil side is not supposed to be as tough as the criminal side. But you still have to make a case. It's not automatic. It's not open and shut. She tapped on the gas. She doesn't necessarily have like the greatest of upbringing, if you will.
Here's my biggest problem with the whole police policy argument that he wasn't supposed to be standing in front of the car. Like when I worked at plants, damn near pretty much everyone. There's certain areas where the fork truck drivers are only supposed to drive. Like it's marked off in yellow lines. Like
this guy is addressing the issue about not. Let me address the issue of not standing in front of the car. He wasn't supposed to be standing in front of the car, which is what my opinion is. So he's talking about it right now.
Yes,
you're not supposed to be standing over there,
right?
Yes.
Don't be standing over there. But every blue moon, it may be a situation where you may need to briefly be over there. But just know that's the fork truck area. You can get ran over.
There, ain't nobody going
now, okay. So if in the event that you over there and you get fucked up, the policy is in place to protect the fork truck driver.
Exactly.
From this is the case he hit somebody. I mean, it's just to protect you. If you walk over there, I mean, don't just basically to tell you don't walk over there, and it's also to protect the fork truck driver.
It's just fascinating to hear that there are lots of black
doing his job, and he hit somebody. The first question they're going to ask: were you driving in the lines that you were supposed to drive in? If he can say yes, he's going to come back to work the next day. Even if he killed somebody, he's going to come back to work the next day.
However,
hold on.
That's all I'm saying.
Hold on. It's something very important here, though. In the event that is on tape that he saw the person right there, looked the person square in the eyes, and hit the gas anyway, he's going to jail for murder. So the fact of the matter is, it don't matter what the policy is if the tape shows that somebody tried to kill somebody with a motorized vehicle. That's why it's irrelevant to even talk about the nuance of the policy that's there to protect both people.
Yeah,
it's irrelevant.
She wasn't trying to kill him.
It's like your whole argument is irrelevant. She looked at him and she looked at him. She looked at him and drove the car right into him. If videotape shows or that fork truck driver,
she looked him dead in the eye and said, "I'm gonna try and run you over." That's different.
To stand and say, "Aha, gotcha, bitch," and run him over. It's not going to be an issue or an open case about whether or not he was wrong or that person wasn't where they were supposed to be. All of that is irrelevant. We just saw somebody try to run somebody over. All the policy shit go out the window at that point.
Wow.
You know what else? We still keep arguing this.
There is literally no physical way to run over a police officer that's standing on the side of your car.
Well, that's right. Now, hold on.
Right.
Dave, this is why I think we have to consider what dirty folks added to the argument, because we do keep talking about this from only the perspective of that little bit of video footage when obviously the event didn't start with the camera. This was an ongoing fluid situation. So your argument that he approached the side from the side is irrelevant if she's in a moving vehicle and they're pursuing her. Even if it's a moving vehicle going 2 miles an hour in a parking lot and they're walking around, this is not a typical situation where you're approaching like a stopped traffic, like a traffic stop.
It's
not. No, it's not. No, it's not.
It's trying to detain the suspect. The car was not in motion.
It wasn't in motion.
No. Again,
it was in
when Dirty Folks came on the panel, he said that the whole event started way before the video, and they had been pursuing her around the parking lot. The video we watched starts at this moment where they finally try to snatch her out the car. So if this whole thing went down where
apparently they're saying there was a chase around the parking lot. And that this was a moment at which she stopped. And that's where the body cam video that's been released starts. That changes everything. Because if she just got in the car, which is what I thought happened,
I thought they just came up
with some makeup, and then they came up to her and said, "Ma'am," right? get out of the, or we want to talk to you. But no, apparently there have been some shenanigans before. Why don't we know about that? Interesting.
Where they were chasing her around the lot, then I think your argument about you're not supposed to approach a vehicle from the front goes out the window.
Yeah, it does. I agree. I agree with that totally.
Video you guys played,
if she was running around the parking lot,
when
then
they went to the loop, it looped back to the beginning when she was like driving, with the automatic door.
Then it was valiant of him to put his body in the way.
Driving on that, and he was knocking on.
Yeah, it makes all the difference in the world.
Driving at 2 miles an hour. That's why I was like, yo, how did he end up in the front of? That's why I was looking at.
This woman is involved in a criminal conspiracy, missing license plates.
Missing license plates.
Individuals looking to rob a retailer.
Oh, no plates on the car. Okay, see, my just last live about 20 minutes ago. We're learning the facts, and I stand corrected. If she has no license plates, and maybe it's a stolen car. Might not be so easy to find her. But, what does she have? What did she steal? What was the worth of it? All that stuff. But see, then you run into that slippery slope. Well, it was just some makeup. Let them take that. And then you get San Francisco, right? Yeah, it's a tough one.
I don't feel sorry for her at all. The only person I feel sorry for is that child. I mean, as if black children don't have enough problems, this baby would have ended up with fetal alcohol syndrome.
Right. You know what, Nate? This is why.
Wait. Come on. To see if there was a tag in the back of that window, because just when you buy new cars, you're not gonna have a license plate.
Bro, that ain't no damn new car.
God.
Come on.
And rainbows have multiple colors.
I'm trying to. I didn't even notice the back of the car.
That's an old ass Nissan Altima.
No. Here's the thing, and this is why I brought up. This is why I brought up the whole argument about. We live in a civilization, and there is an order to things. And I think black folk need to have a serious come to Jesus moment about this type of shit.
Yes.
If you appreciate the idea of civilization, then we should not be looking for reasons to convict the police when a woman is committing a crime and tries to kill the cop and she gets killed. Right. We can't be looking for reasons to convict the cop. I mean, because if this is how we're going to be, we don't have civilization. And this is black people have a very, very weird relationship to this issue. Do you want order or do you want savagery?
Okay,
they want excuses for when you act like monsters. That's what they want.
They want coochie coupons. There's no way in the world that you can rationalize this. The mental gymnastics it takes to save a hoe is past my pay grade. All I know is my 2 rules in life is don't listen to girls with clothes on, and don't trust men who listen to girls with clothes on, because I don't want to die over a chick. And you sound like the type of guy that'll kill somebody over a chick and call it.
Oh, I sound like my nigga. I sound like the guy that's actually telling you what's gonna fucking happen.
No,
unemotionally.
No, what you did is you took her. Let me tell you what you did. You did what my dad does. My dad is a boomer, and I love my dad, but he love these hoes. So check this out. This is what you did. My dad will.
My nigga, please don't say I love these hoes.
No. I'm talking about.
My nigga, come on now.
No. I'm talking about how people have a blind.
Come on now. I'm just telling you what's gonna happen with the case based on.
I like the fact that those are fighting words now.
No.
The fact that those are fighting words is a good sign, gentlemen. I appreciate that. But continue.
Okay, so let me help with this intervention. What my dad would do was this. My sister would do something like
turn it off.
You and your brother. I'm like, damn, what I do? Like, if something else happens, they'll blame the police, they'll blame the school, they'll blame everybody but this goofy hoe. I used to ask my dad, like, check my mom. I was like, check your baby mama. He'd be like, that's your mom. I'm like, yeah, you know first though. Like, why is it that people have a blind spot? What you're doing in this conversation is you're absolving her and her crew of married thieves from what they did to worry about where somebody was standing before they shot.
Watch this.
Instead of saying, shorty, why you get shot? You know, I'm in Chicago. Do you know every day I have to avoid getting shot?
Watch.
Like, it's a constant thing.
Nigga, I'm in Chicago too. I grew up in the Wild Hunters. Nigga, my nigga, you
know better. If you're a Roseland, nigga, you should know better. I just made a video the other day. I was in a potential shootout on $2 Tuesdays at Church's Chicken, my nigga. I know.
Which churches, my nigga?
I know.
That ain't funny, bro. Was it someone on Stony?
I'm not gonna blame the cashiers. I'm gonna blame that nigga with the gun. And if I get hit and I saw that nigga with the gun instead of doing what I did and slide to the left, get out. Then,
I was just saying, what's gonna happen in court?
What should have happened in the court. They had court. They had court in the streets, and she lost. She got convicted.
Right, and this is why I don't hold nothing against you. I don't hold it against you personally for bringing up that possibility, because it is real possibility, especially like in left leaning type of places. I don't know what Ohio is going to look like, but the argument I'm making is that even that is a bad sign. This is not a good thing all in all. So you can go out, break law, get killed in commission of a crime, and essentially be a family lottery ticket for your ratchet family. Burn it all, bro. I don't want none of this shit.
This is reminding me of, I know Nathan Daly, who's a YouTuber, and he had a situation where he was on duty and he got dragged down the street. He was hanging halfway out of car, on the highway. The person was on the highway, basically ran him into another car while his body was hanging halfway out. Now, him and the black female YouTuber Six the Goddess got into a little beef on that, and she was trying to clown him for it and everything, and so he went off on her. But the people, the simps who wanted to defend her, want to know what their argument was? Well, he wasn't supposed to jump in that car and hang on to that steering wheel. He wasn't supposed. How the fuck are you talking about the technical mistake? And I looked at the tape and I said, yeah, from a technical, on the technicality, he was wrong. He wasn't supposed to try to stop that man from driving off with his physical body in any way, shape, or form. So yes, on a technicality, he did do wrong, but that doesn't fucking matter. Her sitting there trying to clown him and talk about him, and
he was wrong. If he's sitting on the side,
it wasn't safe. It wasn't safe. That was not the safe move. But either way,
why are we?
It was right because the lady was headed onto the highway, and that would have definitely been a very dangerous situation for other drivers. Like I saw the tape too.
So what you're saying is okay. So what you're saying is he risked his life trying to be a hero, and it costed him. So either way it go. But even if police policy says he was technically wrong, you never do that.
That's why I'm stopping. Did he say police policy was wrong?
I have a question. The man was trying to be a hero. So what's the fucking point?
That's right. He was trying to be a hero.
You know what?
Yeah, we can't punish our officers for acting valiantly and bravely to protect the citizens of said jurisdiction.
I have a question. And it's not addressed to the gentleman that's providing the opposition here, but to any leftist. Why do these people's lives mean more to you than their lives mean to them? These people do not care about their lives. They obviously don't care about their children's lives. When you want to operate in a civilized society this way that has rules, that has structure,
why do you value those people's lives more than they give a shit about their own lives?
And we don't seem to have all these problems when Ruby Ridge happens. The white, supposed white supremacists with the guns. We don't get this angry when David Koresh gets blown up. Why you get so mad when these filthy, dirty leftist niggas who are burning down our country end up getting their just desserts? Doesn't bother me at all.
Hey, Nate. Here's what I will say, right? Because Arizona is a hotbed for a lot of incidents, right, between actual law-abiding citizens. And there's two cases. One, I can't remember the dude's name. It might be like Daniel, might be his first name, but he was an exterminator, and he got shot in a hotel.
Why don't you put up the
hallway?
On
and there was another one.
A white dude, white cops.
Yeah. Like they gave him conflicting commands, and then there was another one where a white homeowner came to the door with his pistol because I guess he had a noise complaint with his neighbor, but his neighbor turned in a hostage situation or called 911, called in a hostage situation. And the cop was behind him when he came out to see who it was at the door. And the cop basically blew his head off. And I'm saying, like, yo, if you really wanted to, like, get rid of police misconduct, why wouldn't you champion these cases? Because, it would serve your interest too. I never understood, why do you take the worst to try to defend? And I'm not saying you're doing this, but I'm saying, like,
it sound like y'all dogging me out.
No. I'm not saying you're doing this, but I'm saying, like, no. Strategically though, because I do have an issue with a lot of police misconduct.
I've been called a leftist, all this other crazy
no,
shit.
I'm not saying that to you.
I said not you. I said not you. I was just addressing some of the people in the chat who are angry about what's happening.
Hold on, Nate. What you got here in the back on the screen share, Nate? What's going on?
I just want to show you my thumbnail.
The systematic
for that
defunding of the police doesn't help these issues.
It's beautiful. It illustrates it beautifully.
Look at this picture.
Yo, that's crazy.
All right, click the box to the far right so we can see it bigger.
My apologies. Let me blow it up.
The guy that got tased in the balls.
The Chronicles of a Nightmare, the tragic story of and
the guy got tased in the balls.
Blonde hair, everything. Except, she's got a Joe Biden poster on her car. So,
Hey, would you say Black? Would you say Black Thoughts?
Audit to Audit does good work. I like Audit to Audit. But the guy that got tased in the balls, the cop did God's work. That degenerate white trash does not need to procreate.
Well, here's the thing, right? And this is the difference between, let's just say, the two different cultures here. Because, and this is why I keep talking about the whole civilization angle. You realize that most other groups don't really mourn their trash like that. It's kind of assumed. It's assumed that they're going to die horribly, and it sucks to be them. There's just a quiet, exception of that reality. But when it comes to black people, don't matter who he was, he black, so we gonna have to feel bad for him. That shit gotta go. We cannot move forward holding on to the worst of us.
And that's what black people do. They hold on to their trash. There's no separation.
No. Black people are trash. I keep trying to tell y'all that, but y'all won't rebrand with it. The only when white people got tired of being assumed they were trailer park, they found out what the Old Testament is, and they became another community of wet tiny hats. Same people. I'm saying, man, that it's going to have to be a separation here. Here's the thing. Anytime I haven't seen anyone go balls to the wall for what's his name, Philandro Castile, for any of the guy who got shot in Walmart trying to get an air pistol for his son. I never see y'all go balls in the wall for that. But for a criminal or a son of a single mom or that mother herself, it's like, man, the whole world stops and we all have to go for the degenerates. This is what I'm trying to say, because I know there's a lot of conservative men here. The thought that the degenerates are what they support means they are the degenerate, right?
That's correct.
So if I'm a hardworking father and my daughter said, I wish my daddy was a trapper, that is what they tend to want to be. You understand what I'm saying?
Man, I'm so frustrated here. I was live talking about this thing, analyzing this videotape. We found this live discussion 2 seconds after I signed off live. And I had 2 viewers, which for us was big, right? And so we have nobody now. But you know what? This is going to go up. It's going to be recorded. So
2:00 in the morning. He called the cops like any logical person would. Cops come out.
Like and subscribe and share, man. Hit the notification button.
That upsets me. Now, I don't give passes to police, but this is the illogical thinking of black Democrats in this country. You hate the police, right? Okay, fine. I don't like the police because let me take that back. Police are quote unquote a necessary evil because we need order and structure in a society. However, what blacks don't realize, as you vote Democrat, Democrats want to wildly expand government control over your life. Who are the people that enforce the laws of the politicians? It's the police. So here you are voting for Democrats who want to expand their control over your life.
And who enforces those laws? Do you understand that? Fuck them both.
Police do.
But look, we can say F the parties or whatever, but guess what? We're still gonna have to live in the world that they're pulling strings on. But what I would say is, like, I would try to limit interactions, and I would severely limit them trying to raise funds from their freaking citizens.
Do you know how you
speed traps and all that stuff? Go say that again.
You know how you limit interactions, which I'm sure all of us up here are limiting our interactions.
Proper behavior.
Law-abiding citizens.
Correct.
That's how you limit interactions.
Or at least
everything else.
I concur.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say at least be a cool ass criminal. I'm with you, bro. Be a law-abiding citizen, which doesn't mitigate anything because people do profile. I think it's a classist war more than a race war.
Profiling is
I believe
necessary.
that court areas
Realistic.
are over-policed. I've never been afraid to be killed by a cop, but I have been afraid that the crack in his pocket will become the crack in my pocket if he has a quota.
Yes.
But if I could say this real quick, in a city or a community that has tons of corruption, dropout single mothers, it's much easier for corrupt cops to do their evil. Back in the 70s with Serpico, an entire New York City Police Department was on the take with drug dealers. The entire department. The reason they could do that is because they were in a crime-ridden, drug-infested community. If your community is corrupt and broken and dysfunctional, your cops, to a degree, are going to be too.
Hey, Nate.
They don't get away with that shit in the suburbs. They don't.
Hold on. Wasn't Copland based on that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hold on. Okay. Yes, so you said profiling, right? I grew up in New York City during stop and frisk.
Oh, me too.
Right? Me too. Check this out. You know, the only time I had interactions with police was when I had done something I should not be doing.
Oh, right. That's true.
Other than that, hey, you're a criminal. Let's see what you got going on. What the part that no one wants to talk about during stop and frisk is they were pulling over the people and dealing with the people that were known to be criminals.
Yes.
That were known to be involved in criminal activity.
Right.
Those are
and they also pulled a lot of extras over that were not.
People.
Isn't there a root to the reason for profiling?
Wow, what a discussion.
Hold on.
Wow, what a discussion.
God, question.
Wow,
did you grow up in New York City during stop and frisk?
No, I did not.
Okay, so let someone that did grow up in New York City during that tell you what it was like. Not what you imagine.
You're saying they
only hold on, wait. Wait a minute. Hold on. Time out, y'all.
He lived through it, right? So he should know.
Question, Black Thought. You said they were only stopping and frisking people who were, you said were how did you word that? No, okay, known criminals. So the perception.
I should be working, but I'm bringing this stuff to you.
You know, somebody walking down the street
because you need to see this.
So it was
this
more
is fascinating.
So, like
all black people.
Somebody's a known criminal, and they know this person is in this particular car or vehicle, or like they can identify him.
Hey, we got a viewer.
They see somebody that they can identify. They stop and frisk that person.
True Slinger
that's
Project.
More or less what it was.
If you were known by the police department, right, and you're known to be involved in criminal activity, they would often stop.
We're monitoring a black panel here, talking about the shooting in Ohio of Takia, I believe. And it's overwhelmingly that she needed the shooting. I'm shocked. So it's fascinating. It's really challenging my worldview. I was on the other side of it, man.
A couple of shows ago,
I was almost ready to say that. Well, I'm not sure he's out here to me. I don't think they should have escalated it by getting in front of the car, but we don't know all the information yet.
I was all over the projects and shit, so
learning a lot.
What I saw was basically if you look hot, you might get looked at. But if you keep your head down and going out your way, like, you know, you're probably going to be cool. And that was the reality of it.
And Hood Conservative, let me give you guys an example, right? I was hanging out with guys in Fort Greene because I grew up in between Fort Greene and East Flatbush, right? Now, if anybody knows about Fort Greene, it's a fickle place, a lot of white people who got projects, all of that. Right? So I was hanging out with guys in Fort Greene that were in many things, into many things. I was approached by the police, right? Now, mind you, I wasn't doing anything criminal, but because I was associated with these guys, I was approached by the police, right? So simply being associated with these guys got you in trouble. I went, right? They took me down to the police station, walked me past the room, and do you know, and see, there's a lot of games that are played that people don't understand. They walked me past the room, and you know what I saw in that room that they wanted me to see? Pictures of all of us everywhere hanging out.
Can we admit
real quick, Nate? I got you next,
belligerent
Nate.
nigga on the streets.
Hold on, real quick. Hold on, I got you next, Nate. If you was trying to say something, but I think the biggest problem with stop and frisk is that I think it's a little too honest. If they were pulling over people that look like criminals, and what I mean by that is like, okay, I remember one time. This was very recently. I was pulling into an apartment building, and it was a gate, and you had to punch in the code. So I'm sitting there in the car. The guy in front of me, he had to get out of his car for something. I forgot what. But right as he was getting out of his car, a car pulled behind me. So I was like, "Damn, I'm jammed in. I can't go no damn where." But he got out of his car for a legitimate reason, because I guess he had to walk around and put the code. I forgot what his reason was. But the fact of the matter is, if he got out his car dressed like Duncan Penderhughes, I wouldn't have thought nothing. But because he got out his car dressed like a nigga that's about to possibly jack somebody, I was like, "Oh shit, they got me." But he got out the car to just because he had something legitimate. He had to get out the car before he went into the gate. And I think that's the problem with that. That's what people don't like about stop and frisk is the honest nature of it, because police are like looking at people that look like criminals, and it's a certain profile, not just skin color. That's part of it, but it's a certain it's a certain way that you look, dress, and act.
Right.
In the type
it's a certain way you look, dress, and act. You a homie, white, black, no matter.
If he would have hopped out the car dressed like Duncan Penderhughes, I wouldn't have thought nothing of it.
No, I'm not.
When dude hopped out the car, dude hopped out the car looking like
looking like Tupac, packing
the hoodie to everything. It's like he looked like a nigga with face tattoos. I was like, oh shit. And so we can't.
Yeah, if you look like you've been to prison,
like part of police officers'
sagging,
job
all
is
that,
not to understand, profiles and types and what people do, and they have to do it. It's like they make their assumptions based off how people look.
Gut feelings called.
So it's like
profiling my ass.
But I think that's the problem with the stop and frisk. If they're just stopping people that people who tend to commit crimes tend to dress like this and hang out in these type of places. Those are the people I'm going to stop. I'm not going to stop Duncan Penderhughes with a book bag on his back walking to school. So it's like, we just got to accept that simple fact that it's profiling.
If I could, real quick, and that's basically what I was going to say. We can't act like there's no
what a handsome mug that is.
Profiling. Just like
but you wish you had one.
Ethnic jokes, there's elements of truth in them.
You could too. Just make a request.
There's elements of truth in profiling a young black guy with his pants hanging down, with tattoos all over. It just is.
Somebody made a comment about belligerent nigga on the streets. I would like you to say that again. Whoever made the comment.
Belligerent nigga on the streets.
And you
got with the D on it.
Okay. And you made that comment to say what?
Don't interrupt me, anybody. I made that comment because you started off saying everything was great. Did you live in New York? Because the broken glass stop and frisk was great. Because I never did anything. And
Hold on.
That was great. You do it. Go ahead. Tell me what I'm gonna say.
Dumb fucking niggers.
What? Wait a minute. I quit paying attention. How do we get to dumb? What happened?
Right. I missed the beat. I swear to God, I missed the beat. What happened?
If somebody is saying dumb fucking niggers with a hard ER, it gotta build up to that. What happened?
I don't know, man. If I can explain it, he asked me to explain what I said.
This guy, right?
He started off talking about, hey,
poignant comments
wasn't that bad. I'm like, hey, what are you talking about? He's like, right? You in New York? I'm like, nah, I wasn't in New York.
Well, hold on, one mic, bro.
Yeah, let him talk about that.
And then by the end of his statement, he talking about, yeah, I used to hang out in front of the liquor store with my buddies, and so they brought me in by guilty association and showed me all the pictures of me hanging out doing niggatry. So you got to choose one. Which one?
These niggas don't make no sense. Out of context. I never said that.
Context. You started off saying you was a super law-abiding citizen. You ended up with the police pulling you into the precinct, showing you all your niggatry. Which one is it?
I don't think that's exactly what he said, though. But...
That's all I was
That's kind of what I heard, though.
Go ahead, Black Thought. Go ahead. You put a charge out there on you. Go ahead and explain.
Listen, I don't really have to justify nothing to niggers. Like it doesn't really mean anything. I made a point that again, I made a point of even if you were just hanging with people that were known criminals, could be you would be accosted by police. Now he added all this. I said stop and frisk was great, but this is what dishonest people do. They try and put words in your mouth and they try and turn what you say.
No. To be fair, though, and I have no horse in this race. But to be fair, you did say that they profile a certain type of person, and if you keep your head down and you look law-abiding, they don't mess with you. I mean,
Correct.
So that means you didn't look law-abiding on that particular day.
And I did say that I was hanging. I did say that I was hanging with certain people that had criminal elements to them.
Together.
I admitted that reality.
I got you. I'm with you, bro. The fans called my crib. Look, and they had put me in the strip club at 17 years old, like he was underage, hanging with the governor to the GDs. I was like, oh shit. Like, but here's the thing. I was there. I own that. Because it was strippers, baby, and I was 17. Look, at the end of the day, because Chicago has stop and frisk, but we also have something called mob action, which is total bullshit.
Yeah, mob action, for real.
So I've been stopped by police on suspicion, and I'm like, why? They was like, you look suspicious. I was like, you look gay, and the police said, man, did you call me gay? I said, no. I said, you look gay. I said, I think all white men without a mustache look gay. Like apparently you think all black guys with their hats hooded look like criminals. So we both got misconception of each other. Let's go get some tacos. And he was like, man, on
All right. When shout out to Prophet of Thought X from the Prophet of Thought series says stop and frisk was part of New York's broken windows policing policy. What exactly is that? Give me a speed. What do you mean by broken windows policing policy?
Okay, so the concept is like this. If you have a neighborhood, let's say broken windows. If people see that there's a broken window in this area, it's a sign that the people in the area don't really care. And then you see one broken window, it leads to more, and then the broken windows lead to like all other just degeneracy eventually. And so it's basically if you police the small crimes, you'll cut the big crimes off from their inception. And that it did kind of lower crime because that was the Giuliani era, and so there probably is a little argument to it that if you kind of stay on top of the minor crimes, you'll actually like wind up catching guns and stuff like that before people even get a chance to do things. Like that's the story that the Giuliani era will tell you, and I think there's probably some truth to that.
All right, real quick, Quentin Brown with the $2 super chat, appreciate that. Machismo TV, I think he's talking about David with the D on the screen when he says, he says Keisha protection agent approach from the side. Shout out to you, do appreciate your super chat. Shout out to Eric Little in the building. He says, in lieu, they fired 15 into a guy. Hold on, y'all. Let me read the super chat. There's some background. Let me mute somebody up. I think that was D that was talking. Eric Little says, in lieu, they fired 15
Sorry about that. I didn't mean
guy who did
turn the discussion down too low.
With that, trying to drive
I got a news flash for you.
The cop in front of you. Yeah. Sir Tyson in the building says,
I don't have a doot noise yet. So, yeah, we got a news flash for you. If you're just tuning in, or if you're not tuning in, I don't know. If you're tuning in later, I have it on good information from Tim Pool, who's well sourced, that Russia has just deployed the Satan II nuclear weapon system onto the battlefield. And apparently this sucker can destroy the United Kingdom in 6 minutes. Is that right? Did I get that right? That's the news for today. Russia deploys the Satan II nuke onto the battlefield. So get ready to go, boys and girls. Here we go. That was your news flash.
Yeah, that's fairly accurate. But all right, we gonna shit. Yeah, we at the 2 hour mark. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap this bad boy on up. Hood, you going live sooner or later?
You know what? I think I just might do it impromptu and go live in a few minutes because all right, I'm gonna give everybody the pitch real quick because I was talking to Bernard about this shit right before we went live. Like we were saying, we might have called the audible because this whole thing is bizarre to me, and I gotta watch it play out. And I was gonna sort of comment on it, but a few weeks ago, Anton, you know the Anton Daniels Millionaire Morning guy, he had done some content. Somehow, some transgender person made his way onto the Anton panel, and Anton's doing content like, "Oh, the black woman turned on me," and so that was a funny thing in and of itself.
Hello.
And I was talking about that in the manosphere with a couple of different guys, and I'm like, "Look, you best thing to do is to just not even have your circles overlap. Got to avoid the whole rainbow gender fluid people."
Wait, real quick question. When he said, did the black woman turn on him for having the chick, the dude? I'm sorry, the trans dude. Did they turn on him for that, or was it because they
Something
didn't
like
like what
that.
he was saying? They didn't was because they didn't like what he was saying to the person, or what?
No, it was basically he was making a, you not real type of argument, and they were reinforcing the transgenders' validity. Like they was you valid. They made him a valid girl, and so
Oh
that was
wow,
that was kind of, yeah, it was a weird issue. And so anyway, what I noticed is after that whole thing had happened, and I was saying that it's best to just not even get into that, no direct contact with that thing. I'll make all my commentary, but there's very little we need to talk about. And apparently they must have had some conversations in the background, some type of deal with the devil was made. I don't know. But now I see the same gender fluid person on the Fight Club last night.
Oh
I
yeah,
think it was last night.
that person makes regular appearances on a lot of those panels now.
And I'm like, bro.
Hold on. You say that this person makes regular appearances on where?
Like the Fight Club, and every now and again appears on that the A&Q show, I think.
The A and what?
A&Q, Q, the chick that Anton be having that.
I haven't even heard of that one yet. See, that's what I was saying.
That's on Anton's channel. Her name is
this is Anton's
Island. I think Island Girl Q. So when Island Girl Q do a show on Anton's channel, the trans gentleman shows up semi regularly.
At least 3 times.
Okay,
and now on Fight Club. Okay, wow. Okay,
and so the show title with Fight Club last night was "Are Women Taking Men's Natural Roles in Society?" And then they start out the show with the transgender on the panel, and I'm like, "What the fuck, man?" And it did. It was Jay Prince for president. He opened up. He opened up he popped the bottle. He was the one popped the bottle, and that was about as far as I got. He started calling it out, and it had to be a shit show after that. And so I got to do some commentary because that whole thing was a goddamn mess.
If I could, real quick, can we hesitate before we condemn the manosphere, please? We're always trying to condemn the entire manosphere. And as far as I know, Anton isn't really part of the manosphere. If we could,
he used to speak against it, and then he adopted a lot of he adopted a lot of the isms, schisms, and talking points, and so yeah.
The Anton sphere is its own thing. The Anton sphere is not associated with anything I want to do over here.
Yeah, no, that's true. Anton, I mean, I give him credit for that. He did started with between him, Lapeef Network, that whole, even though it was a separation between him and Lapeef, they created their own sphere. Like a lot of the smaller creators that used to cop on they shit, then got their own channels now and doing good numbers. Like, yeah, they created their own sphere, their own algorithm. So I give them props for that. I respect that. But it's still it's some separate and apart shit going on over there. So yeah, no doubt about that.
Hey, so what you're saying is you don't want to do interviews with Felice Johnson?
Nah, bro. It ain't a lot that nigga know I want to know, bro. I'll tell you. I listen, write it in a book or something. I don't want to talk to that nigga, man.
And if you don't mind, if I could just plug, I am the author of Kroger Keisha. Please go check out my Rumble stream. Like, I did a magnificent job breaking all this check out the stream. I put it in the chat. Kroger Keisha, the tragic story of Kroger Keisha, the Chronicles of a Nightmare Whore. Please go check it out.
Man, I've been on mute the whole damn time. Shit. Okay. Well, stick back with us tonight. We're going to cover the melting Westerville, Ohio. And I'm going to be coming back on tonight. Follow these guys. What's their name? Again, the
female George Floyd.
No, the people, black conservatives. What is it? The name? Oh, it's gone. Doesn't matter. Let me see if I can back it up.
Hood Conservatives.
Oh, Hood Conservatives. Yeah. So check them out and check me out later. Maybe we'll get some riots sometime after dark tonight. Be live streaming. I'm True Slinger, and I'm out.